With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows the resourceful individual to earn the very liberal rate of 4.5% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on an IRA account. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth for just $5 a month. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
Joining us now, we have Victoria Coates, former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Trump. Victoria, first your reaction to this Iranian plot, this threat. You understand it all too well.
No, thanks for having me on, Rita. You know, this is really, I think, stark evidence of the direct threat on the president-elect that has been in place really since January of 2020, when he had the courage to order the hit on Qasem Soleimani. That's what very clear from this indictment, what all of this is in response to. And it shows you how serious his security situation has been since then, and it's outrageous that it took until the Butler, Pennsylvania incident for the Secret Service to start to take this seriously. I mean, I thank heavens we didn't have a more serious event involving him. Maisie Alinejad, the Iranian dissident reporter who's living in Manhattan with you guys now, was almost directly attacked by a hitman a couple of years ago, and she is part of this indictment as well. And when they've scooped up two guys, but there's a third who fortunately appears to be in Iran, and hopefully we will prevent him from moving around. We can't indict him in Iran, but this is an ongoing direct threat to the president-elect.
Yeah, it's stunning. You know, I mean, why has the current president not pounded his fist? We've talked about this. Why is he not saying, wait a minute? And today, now that this indictment has come out, it's the FBI, it's the DOJ. He knows all the details. They made it public. And the fact that they were planning to do something, they said even as recently as the anniversary of October 7th, they've even signaled that they plan to do it after the election. That's now. I mean, this is an ongoing threat to the president-elect of the United States, the former president, and we haven't heard anything today from the White House. I mean, that to me is a disgrace, Victoria.
You know, apparently for them, this isn't even bad manners, and they haven't had the good grace to fire Rob Malley, their special envoy for Iran, who's suspended without pay for now well over a year for leaking intelligence to the Iranians. Did he leak stuff that put the former, now president-elect, in danger, classified information? I mean, there should be so many questions. And as you said, this shouldn't be a political question. This should be an American question. I don't care who it is. If I heard any foreign power was, plotting to kill Barack Obama, I would be as angry as I am over this. It's utterly outrageous. It should be intolerable. And no crickets from the current president and the vice president, even though this is their FBI, which I have to credit mightily for persevering with this, even given the atmosphere they were in. Not a surprise. It's after the election it comes out.
Yeah, that's the one. That's a great point. The timing of this. Judge Weinberg.
Victoria, good to talk to you again. Why did the Obama administration, the Biden administration, plant all these pro-Iranian people in the most sensitive positions in the U.S. government, in national security, in defense, and in state? What were they thinking?
Well, Judge, it's hard for me to put myself in their shoes, but, the best I can come up with is they honestly believe Iran can be a good negotiating partner for the United States and bring peace to the Middle East. And all I see from the 8 years of Obama and the 4 years for Biden and Harris, at the end of Obama, we had Iran fat and happy from years of sanctions relief under the original nuclear deal. That is what they started, and then they, built up all of these regional proxies. We slowed them down during the first Trump term. The Biden people came back and tried it again and said, let's give them lots of money. Let's let them export 1.75 million barrels a day to the communist Chinese at a discount to keep our domestic prices down. And maybe they'll use that for what John Kerry promised us, to cure cancer or something. Well, they don't. And so we're doing the definition of insanity here. It makes the American people, and obviously the former president, distinctly less safe. It has to end.
Yeah, for sure. Ed Cox.
So President-elect Trump has made it clear that it's okay for Israel to take out the nuclear facilities of Iran. How does that rattle around Iran, and what's their reaction going to be now that becomes a reality for them?
That's a really important point, Ed, because that was new from the president-elect when he said that after the October 1st attack, that he thought the Israelis should go after the energy and the nuclear sites. And what Israel did the week before the election, I think, is not particularly well understood. They showed the Iranians they can run 100 planes 1,000 miles over the skies of Iran, destroy the targets of their choice, and the Iranians can do nothing about it. The Iranians don't have that capability. And now the Iranians know there's going to be a new sheriff in town who maybe takes all of this, as I said, a little personal, and that the Israelis are going to be right there with him. So really, I think a critical point, that was a shift from him. He doesn't want this. He does not want a war in the Middle East. None of us do. But if the Iranians don't change their behavior and change it on a dime, they're going to have a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, go ahead, Gov Patterson, real quick.
Victoria, because it's going to be January 20th before President Trump takes office, do you think that Iran would immediately strike now because they're running out of time and they know exactly what will happen if President Trump gets in and has full power?
Well, Governor, good to hear your voice. You've been in our prayers. But, I think that's a critical point. But what we already see is behavior shifting around the globe. I don't know that the Iranians would do that, given how foolhardy it would be. It would only trigger a stronger response later. Given what they did in 1980 when President Reagan came in and they immediately released the hostages, I suspect they're going to act like a bully. And when the bullies stood up to, they're going to back down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, President Trump has just about said to Israel, do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely right, John. I mean, as he should. But they are going to need more help to take the kinds of actions we're looking at than I think this administration would supply. So, this is a tough period, but I have confidence that the fear of President Trump will keep the bad actors.
Well, I'm sure that Israel is going to wait till January 21st before they do anything.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. It'll be an interesting period.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll catch up again real soon.
Always a pleasure.